My name is Paul Robbins. I'm the director of Comfort My People, which is a ministry into Israel and beyond where the Jewish people are, and others who live in Israel who serve there. We support them. So I want to share some little bit of intro by way of a prophetic word that Jesus gave to his disciples way back when. And he said that you will not finish going through all the towns of Israel before the Son of Man returns. Now that implies that they would be going through all the towns of Israel when he returns. However, they were kicked out of Israel by the Roman Empire shortly after Jesus ascended, went back to heaven. So there were no more disciples in Israel. So how can that be fulfilled? Either Jesus got it wrong or it's yet to happen. The good news is it is happening now, and it's happening with our partners, the brothers and sisters in Israel, who are sharing the gospel throughout the land of Israel as well as they can. They live there, they're indigenous, they're native to the land, they know the language, the culture, and everything else that will make them qualified to speak about Jesus, Yeshua, to the Jewish people and the Arab people. So this is happening today. So this is not finished, but they are going from town to town. That's just one aspect of what our partners are doing in Israel. But when you come on a tour like such as we have, the advocacy tour, you can get to meet them, the living disciples. We will try to walk where Jesus walked, but it's buried so deep under the ground that we prefer to say we want to walk where his disciples are walking now.
Going on this trip with Comfort My People was life-changing in a few aspects, but one was that it was awesome to be able to not only go to the land and not only see the historical sites, to see the places where Yeshua walked, but for me it was even more special in some ways to be amongst the people, to be able to worship together with them, to be able to sit down and break bread with them. And this is the type of trip that I've always wanted to go to, so it was a blessing to me to be able to see not only all the places where Yeshua walked, but it was a blessing to me to see where he still walks today amongst the people who are in the land, laboring for not only the Jew, but the Arab and everybody else that's in the land. So to me, that was incredible.
We met every day with Messianic believers that were doing the work of Yeshua in the land of Yeshua. And we were able to hear their stories, their struggles, how to pray. So one of the best places for me was where Elijah called down fire from heaven. That was a very big place for me. Being an evangelist, I felt empowered at Elijah's place where that happened. And I also, where Armageddon is to happen, the overlooking that field, that space of land, and just realizing the future for us is it's going to be difficult, but it's going to be glorious as well.
I have had a restlessness about God for the last 10 years. And in that restlessness, I've always asked the question, is there more? And I looked at the church and I looked at the functionality of the church, and I felt like there was something more, but I didn't know what it was. And so that led a 10-year-long deep dive into trying to figure out who he is and if he really is who he says he is. And Israel came along, and when Israel came along, I learned that God was holy. And so he started to show me exactly what that meant, but he showed it to me through the Jewish and Gentile world. And through my connections with Comfort My People, I learned that God had chosen a people for the sake of the entire world. And it was a people that I did not realize meant something to my faith and did not realize were the foundations of my faith. And all of a sudden, I felt like they in some way belonged to me. They in some way had something to do with my faith, and that was the more, that God had salvation in store for me, but through the understanding and story of his chosen people.
If you would like to join us on our next trip, it's coming soon. We need to hear from you soon. So go to our website, comfortmypeople.com, or you can call or text me, Paul, at Advancing Native Missions is the email, or 540-294-4906. The website name is comfortmypeople.com.